The survivor from the Lusaka flight landed as scheduled. If Annika didn't see him, it's because, as soon as he stepped into the landside area, the survivor rushed to the bathroom to vomit. Some suffer from air sickness. He suffers from land sickness. Luckily, it was just a temporary discomfort. The survivor splashes water on his face, pulls himself together, and goes through customs. Before entering the public area, he waits for the crowd to thin out. He had slept on the plane and dreamed. A fragmented dream, like a badly projected film. He was returning among the remnants of his adult self to the world of his youth. He revisited the places he had lived in, where time seemed to have stood still. He was the intruder, the only tourist, but no one seemed to notice. He found his brothers again, now in their grown-up clothes. He broke the order of chairs by taking a seat at the table. The family home hadn't changed, a red parallelopipe adorned with pittosporum. But somehow he knew he had lost the key. Outside, half hidden by the hedge, she was there, seemingly waiting. Waiting for what, no one knows. Maybe for the love of a lifetime. Upon waking, he had asked himself if, upon seeing her, he would recognize her. After 18 years, he sees her, standing still under the arrivals board. She has her back turned, but he has no doubt. The way she moves and brushes her hair aside. The habit of wringing her knuckles when she's tense. He stares, waiting for her to turn around. A loud, vacationing group of tourists nearly runs her over. For a moment, Annika thinks she saw a hallucination among that disordered bunch, weighed down with backpacks and duffels. Annoyed, she dismisses the absurd idea while waiting for the newcomers to move on. Someone touches her arm and she spins around. "Annika, it's really you." Annika opens her eyes and mouth wide. She steps back, almost trips. It's a journey back in time. With barely a whisper, she stammers, "Ray." He says, "I can't believe you're standing here in front of me." My God, Annika loses her balance and bumps into someone. "I need to sit down." Yes, of course. Ray is tempted to support her, but doesn't dare. He follows her to the waiting chairs. Annika sits, and he watches her sit. She stares at him, surprised he remains standing. Then she realizes, for Europeans only, seats no longer exist. "Ray, you can sit wherever you want." He nods. "It'll take me some time to get used to that." "So it is you," Annika resumes. "You're the survivor arriving from Lusaka." "I am." She can't stop looking at him. He keeps his eyes down. Annika says, "You're thinner. I mean, too thin. But with some rest and the right food, you'll recover quickly." A smile lights up Ray's face. She still had that habit back then, too, of never really growing up. A sweet trait that made you want to protect her. "You, on the other hand, are beautiful. Even more beautiful than I remembered." Annika waves off the compliment. "Oh, Ray," she exclaims. "Where have you been?" "Where, all these years?" "In Lesotho first. Then Zambia." "Vinicius," Annika exclaims. "Why didn't he tell me anything?" "I asked him not to." "But why? Do you have a woman, a family?" "So many years have passed, it would be normal." He recalls the rare lovers. "No woman. No one else." "And what have you been doing, Ray? All this time?" "I finished studying, I taught. Today I run a secondary school in Lusaka." Annika smiles. "You haven't changed." Ray shakes his head. "You're wrong. And if I add up what I've done, the balance isn't always in my favor." Annika looks at him. "Why do you say that, Ray?" He sighs, then begins to speak. "After Soweto, comrades offered me weapons. They didn't want to resort to violence, they said. But the government of separation left no choice. I told them to go to hell. As a teacher, I believed culture was the most powerful weapon. Until one day, Lesotho decided to return the refugees to South Africa. After 10 years, I managed to escape to Zambia, but at that point, protests and slogans weren't enough anymore. I joined a cell of an armed movement." Annika covers her mouth with her hands. Ray continues. "At first, we organized spectacular but non-lethal sabotage. We hoped such actions would weaken the country's economy. But years went by and it became clear that separation wouldn't end without extending violence to people." Annika asks, "Did you hurt anyone?" Ray sighs. "I saw a boy burned alive by a Molotov thrown at a white pub. I felt sick to death. That day I realized it's wrong to arm ideals." Annika and Ray fall silent for a moment. "Ray," Annika suddenly says, "have you seen Midnight Express? Do you remember the scenes where the prisoner retaliates against his tormentors?" "No one would blame him, Ray." He nods. "I haven't seen the film, but I know what you mean. The problem is when things go back to normal, even if you didn't want to, Even if what you did had reasons, it was still you who did it. Annika nods. I knew that if it came to joining Umkhonto we Sizwe, you wouldn't back down. Ray turns to her. How could you be so sure? Annika lifts his shirt sleeve, revealing the scars on his wrists. Keloids, she says, touching them. If a Zulu has them, it's not by chance. They are a sign of loyalty and a promise. The promise to fight for your people, even at the cost of your life. You know, Ray, Annika continues, there was once a girl. One night she had a date with someone and couldn't wait, just like every other night. But that someone never came. He never would. When something like that happens, you're afraid to go far, to be away too long. Because you can't stop thinking, what if he comes and doesn't find me? There's nothing sadder than freezing in place and waiting. Annika, Ray takes her hands, I loved you. I didn't want to lie to you. I didn't want to leave you. I just wanted to protect you. Annika lowers her eyes. I know, but maybe you could have asked if I wanted to run away with you. Ray shakes his head. A black man with a white woman. How long do you think we could have hidden? Annika nods, then says, you sent me seeds. He looks at her. You knew they were from me? That was a time when I didn't understand anything anymore. I was crazy to send them, but I didn't want you to forget me. Forget? Annika shakes her head. How could I forget, Ray? Don't you know that a part of me stayed there in Soweto? On June 16th, 1976. Just hoping you'd come back to get it? Ray's eyes widen. You were there? You came to Soweto on the day of the uprising. I knew how important it was. I couldn't stay away. I should have locked you inside the boutique and thrown away the key. You could have died, you know? Yes, and I was terrified. Then I cried for nights, for having fled without trying to find you. Ray wipes his face with his hand. I wanted to marry you. Annika whispers, I know. He says, hug me. And Annika hugs him, naturally, without hesitation, because that man is, and always will be, Ray, the greatest love of her life, the most beautiful boy she ever saw.